What's up, guys? This is Will Sports, and today I'm going to be talking about Jordan Love and the Packers. They secured a win over the Saints today. They played their first home game of the season at Lambeau, and the fans were obviously very excited because it's a new era there with Jordan Love being the new starting quarterback instead of Aaron Rodgers. And it was a sloppy game for them. It did not look great early. This is a Packers team that, early in the game was committing a lot of penalties, was playing very sloppy, gave up a punt return, had a lot of drops. Play calling wasn't great. A lot of miscommunication between the quarterback and the receivers. And this is a team that was missing Aaron Jones, Christian Watson, David Bakhtiari, Jair Alexander, Elton Jenkins. They were missing arguably 5 of their 6 top players. So this was a team that was very shorthanded going against the Saints team that has a great defense. Derek Carr at quarterback, and they started the season 2-0. So it was a tough test, and early in the game it just felt like all the injuries and all the guys that were missing were clearly affecting the Packers. But basically, I want to talk about Jordan Love. I am very impressed with what I've seen so far. His stats don't wow you because his stats, I think he's only completing 53% of his passes so far. He has 7 touchdowns on the season. I think about 600 yards on the season. Nothing too spectacular. But he makes winning plays. And today was a perfect example of it. There were drops with his receivers. And he could have got frustrated and, really showed that. But he just stayed resilient. And the defense obviously played great to be able to even keep the Packers in the game. And they caught a break with Derek Carr going out. But Jordan Love, just the way he clutched up in the fourth quarter was just very impressive. You had him using his legs, being very mobile, and then he was testing the ball down the field because that was something the Packers early in the game, they weren't able to get much going down the field. Like I said, this is a tough Saints secondary. You're going against players like Tyrann Mathieu, Lante Taylor, Marshawn Lattimore, and all these guys have really good impact on the game. And they weren't able to get much going, especially when you don't have Christian Watson who's your number 1 receiver. You don't have your top back. It's tough to generate a lot offensively, but when it was time to win, Jordan Love made winning plays. He had a touchdown off of a read option at the goal line on the 4th and goal. Very smart read there. Juked out a defender, got in the end zone. They were down 17-11. They were driving, and he picks up a first down and uses his legs. You think he's going out of bounds, and then he cuts up and gets a few more yards and past the first down line and just extends that drive even further. And then later in that drive, he makes a back shoulder throw to Romeo Doubs, who was the top receiver of the day for the Packers. So he made winning plays, and like I said, he stayed very locked in and kept believing in his team, and it showed. And I think if you're the Packers, you like to see that because while the numbers don't wow you, it's about just making winning plays and having an impact. And I feel like so far through 3 games, he's shown that. And like I said, the Packers have been a team that have been dealing with a lot of injuries to start the season. Aaron Jones missed the Falcons game last week. Christian Watson's missed all 3 games. And guys like Rashawn Gary have been questionable to play. Like I said, you didn't have your top tackle in Bakhtiari. Jair Alexander, your best corner, you didn't have him. And that early in the game, it felt like that was a big deal because Olave was getting off, Thomas started to get going. It was tough, and the Packers weren't getting much going offensively. But the way they stuck with it, I was very impressed. And this Packers team, the NFC North right now, the Vikings and the Bears look left for dead, but the Lions and the Packers play this Thursday. That is going to tell us who's the best team in that division for right now. The Packers look good because for them to be 2-1 with a shorthanded roster for the most part, you have to be very impressed and think that going forward, as they get healthier, they're going to become more of a threat. Jordan Love, and he's still relatively early into his career. It's only 3 starts, this season. I think he's going to get better and better, but you can tell that he's very calm and collected. He doesn't panic, and he just seems to, like I said, he seems to make winning plays. I think overall throughout the course of the season, he's been very solid. I think the Packers are a franchise that has had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre back to back the last 30 some odd years now. It's a lot of pressure for Jordan Love to live up to because of the fact of that. But you can tell all the sitting behind Aaron Rodgers has helped him with his poise and his pocket presence and just when to make certain throws. And he can throw that ball. He can sling the thing around. I think his completion percentage was bad because of guys dropping the ball. He had a few balls that should have been caught that weren't. He had a touchdown that should have been caught. And one of his receivers dropped it. So I thought Jordan Love, just the intangibles that he showed, the leadership combined with his legs and his arm, and just being fierce. I liked it, and I think this Packers team, when they get healthy, they're gonna be a tough out. They're still gonna be a good team. Matt LaFleur, I want to speak on him. I mean, really good coach. First half, like I said, this team did not look prepared. This team did not look ready to play. They were getting outmanned, they were getting out hustled, but they turned around in the second half, and they only held the Saints to 252 yards for the day. Rashawn Gary, like I said, their top pass rusher, he had 3 sacks. It's a stout defensive line for the Packers, and that's going to be one of their strengths of the season, and that led to them having the largest comeback in franchise history behind Jordan Love. And I was shocked when I heard that, because I had figured that Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers had to have done that. But no, Jordan Love did that in his first start at Lambeau, so good for him. I think the Packers right now, like I said, I do favor the Lions. I just like, I think they're a more well-rounded roster, and I think as far as just health, they've been healthier. But that defense is, still something that I still want to see if it's something that's going to be shown to be improved over a full course of a season, or at least more of a sample size. They've looked good in 2 or 3 games. So far, so good, but that's still something I want to see if it continues to progress as the season goes on. But they're a high-powered offense, and I can't wait to watch them against the Packers. But I would favor the Lions right now. And Jared Goff is a more experienced quarterback. The Lions, have a lot of weapons, and they've looked really good and really stout. And they're also well coached by Dan Campbell. So got to give the Packers a lot of credit, though. Like I said, resilience, and this is a young team now. They have a young receiving core full of guys: Luke Musgrave, Romeo Dobbs, Christian Watson when he's back, Jaden Reed. So this is a team that is kind of in like a new era. And so to see them start off this season away, dominating their biggest rival in the Bears, even though the Bears suck, still dominated them, killed them. And that's a Bears team that came into the season with some hype. So I thought it was impressive at the time. You lose close to a good Falcons team. Really should have won that game, outplayed them for most of it, but just didn't finish. But that's something that was readdressed and fixed this week. They didn't start out well, but they finished great. And I like to see that if I'm a Packers fan. So yeah, a lot of positives to take out of this game if you're a Packers fan. And dangerous team going forward, as the NFC looks pretty wide open. The Niners are, the top of the top right now, and the Eagles and the Cowboys, even though the Cowboys lost today, still think we all think that the Cowboys are one of the better teams. So after that, though, it's kind of, just a jumbled mess of teams, and we don't know who's the best and who's not. So we'll see. But great performance from Jordan Love, in my opinion. A really good performance, and bright future ahead of him, and the Packers should be happy about with how they started the season. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. What else would y'all like me to make videos about? And yeah, it's been Will Sports. Peace.